Hello and welcome to my Mythic World Tour on my Fury Warrior. This is going to be Neltharus. Again, I just want to reiterate, this is my first time going into these dungeons. I quested all the way up to max. I didn't really do dungeons, so if you see me do something stupid, it's probably because I had no idea. Anyways, I'm just gonna go through some tricky parts that I had to deal with, maybe some troublesome mobs that I didn't like dealing with. Some of the mobs here, they did have a single target, damage thing that healer had to watch out for. Had to watch out for Magma Fist on the ground, that's pretty much it. Dodge that attack. There are some earth elemental things that put a shield on themselves that can be purged or spell stolen or blood elf, arcane torrent, whatever. But that should be easy to deal with. These mobs, they weren't that bad. They look scary, but really, in all honesty, they aren't that bad. I have, since this recording, I have had instances where a tank only pulled like one mob at a time and it was really boring. These mobs in particular, they don't really do range, so you can pull them, big. Anyway, so this is Magma Tusk. So what he does is he targets someone and puts something on the ground under their feet and they just gotta move. Also, this blazing charge here, okay, disregard that. That blazing charge, he targets someone at random and you can actually see him turn and he charges at them, and what I didn't realize is he sends lava waves behind him when he hits. So me being a dummy, I just charged him immediately and said, oops, I just ran right into lava. So that was my mistake. I haven't done that since. But what I recommend when he picks someone and targets them for running, you should actually like point yourself in a wall so where the Magma Tusk doesn't move as much. So he doesn't go completely across the map, he just hits a wall or something. Anyways, a pretty easy, straightforward fight. I was just a dummy. I didn't even realize he sent out stuff behind, so that was my bad. Anyways, that's the first boss. You don't even have to do that boss first. You can choose the other route. It's just you have to kill both of them to get to the next one, or the final boss. All right, so these Phoenix, they have low health, but they're they do cast. So if the tank's trying to gather them all up, it can be kind of tricky. These mobs, yeah, just they target someone and jump to them, but I don't think it can be dodged. Unsure of that. But yeah, in this dungeon, I didn't see much issue with any of these mobs. Like, they didn't do anything that was like, oh, I really need to watch out for that, or something like that. It's just watching your feet, dodge stuff, dodge frontal cones, straightforward. So nothing too tough. It does look like for Mythic Plus purposes, there's different routes you can take. I don't know the most efficient route. I don't think I've seen any videos on the most efficient route, like what mobs to skip, what give the most percentage for the least amount of time, that kind of thing. So I haven't looked too hard into that, but it looks like this route's not the worst. What I have seen tanks do is they kill these mobs and then just pull the next mobs in with the boss, but this tank didn't do that. Because, DPS really likes AoEing, so. Alright, here's the next boss, Chargath. Alright, this boss was a... He does a frontal that sends out a magma wave, kind of like the magma tusk thing when he charges and the magma wave goes from behind. That one's pretty easy to dodge. You just basically got to be paying attention. Alright, the grounding spears. What I've seen is it slows you down, it doesn't pull you in. You don't want to be standing on the fire right on the spear because that'll do damage to you. I do not know if we're doing this wrong. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not standing in my thing, what? It might have just been a healer thing. Like, a healer didn't heal through that, so... Alright, so the tank soloed the last little bit of that. We're waiting for res. Alright, so the next boss, Forge Master Gorik, we gotta go up. We gotta go up above to deal with him. We're waiting on the tank here. I don't know what we're pulling that guy for. I love the Ravage. If you mess it up, it actually goes towards targets. I love that. It's definitely a nice change. Alright, so I think we end up trying, they end up trying to skip those, but honestly I think one of them is just too close, unless you got a rogue to sap. It's like I said, I don't know the Mythic Plus like percentages for these mobs, so I don't know the best route, I don't know the best... Oh, this is not very efficient because these things only give 1% kind of thing. I don't know, but this is just a Mythic Zeros. It's just teaching, telling you and showing you in a noob kind of way what the dungeon has. It doesn't look like that Ember Reach that those Phoenix are casting. It does much to the tank, so I didn't really worry too much about it. You know, interrupting. If I see or notice that tank is taking an insane amount of damage, I will see what it is and interrupt it. These next mobs, I mean, like I said, there's not really much to deal with. Just AoE stun, you're pulling 3 at a time. You might run into a tank that tries to pull them all. I mean, that'd be awesome. It seems like the tank's having no problem at all dealing with these though, so. I believe you can skip these, or that guy, but you know, on your way out, you're gonna probably need to deal with them. What I saw another tank do is since that mob is just one, we grab that and then grab 2 by the exit that we're gonna have to pull anyways later. It's just to be more efficient, so you can AoE and deal with them, so you won't have to deal with them on your way out. There is a mob coming up that's the elemental does a crazy amount of AoE damage. It doesn't look to be interruptible. It might be stunnable. We'll see. It's this next pull coming up. Okay. Yeah, he might be able to be stunned when he's initially casting it, but it's a lot of damage coming out. Doesn't look like it's spell stealable or purgeable, so just your healer might have to look out for that. Just probably for Mythic Plus, to be safe, you might have to clear this whole room, but for Mythic Zero, we didn't really have to. But you know, in Mythic Plus, like let's say you're doing a Mythic 20 plus 25, you wouldn't want those mobs to pull while you're, you know, in a boss fight. All right, so this guy, fire starts coming out from the forge behind you. Just keep watching your feet. When he targets people for that cast right there, I don't know what it's called, Blazing Aegis. It sends out in a cross-like pattern. It sends out fire. So you basically don't stand next to someone and don't stand in a cross pattern from them. So I think I pulled those, but you know, me being the noob that I am will say, no, it wasn't me. It might have been me. I don't know. But that's pretty much why you want to clear the area before. Alright, so there's that boss down. We got one more boss to go. There's only maybe like 2 or 3 trash pulls to go. But it's just the walk. The walk back is insane. I think what we end up doing is, I have no idea why we're pulling these. Tank might not know what he's doing. You don't need to pull these. Maybe he's preparing for Mythic Plus for percentage. I don't know. He didn't need to pull those. See, these are the mobs that I meant. So like that guy behind us, where it's just a single one. I had a tank. He pulled these guys with that guy just to be more efficient. Because AoEing is way more fun and does more damage than single target. So. Alright, so this next mob pull, this Apex Blazewing, it actually does a few things. It knocks everyone back, as well as it does an AoE while you're dealing with the wardens that are doing frontal cones. So you basically don't want to get knocked into a frontal cone from that Blazewing. The Lavamancer, I guess, just interrupt the lava bolts. He puts a shield on himself that you just burn through so you can interrupt the Molten Army. Pretty straightforward stuff. And then you got another pole like the one we just had with the Blazewing. And then we got the boss. It's not a lot of trash in between the bosses. I didn't see, like, notice anything about this boss that just screams, oh my gosh, I need to tell someone like not to do this, because it seemed pretty straightforward. He's just casting stuff that I have no idea. I'm just spamming buttons. The okay stuff is on the ground. Raging Ember is pursuing that guy, but I don't know if I'm supposed to be on the Raging Ember. Alright, so it looks like there's a bunch of stuff being shot out. We got a dodge, magma shield. Definitely not interruptible. It's probably one of those things that builds up over with power if you know, like the longer it stays up, so you just burn through the shield to interrupt it. That's what it seemed like. And this boss went down so quick. So there we go. I got a new weapon. Cool. And that is Neltharus Mythic World Tour. Like I said, pretty straightforward. Not too much going on. I know, you know, the boss fights were kind of weird. We died, and then I died stupidly on Magma Dust. Anyways, thank you so much for stopping by. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out a bunch. And you take care.